Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right. Coachella. Coachella. Donald Trump had a rally in California the other day. Thousands of Trump supporters bust out a couple of miles or a few miles to from the parking lot to the event venue. Multiple people passed out to the heat. To see my other reading that I put up tonight or this morning, depending when you see this, if you'd like to get a little more insight on people passing out at Trump rallies. And I think about it, the devil card came up in the past. So, welcome to Hades. It's a little hot down here. You're not allowed to pass out. But, it's funny. These people will go to really hot environments without enough water and shade and preparation to worship at the feet of the orange devil. The irony is just amazing. Anyways, so after Trump is done with this rally and he takes off, the buses stopped coming to pick up the event goers. In fact, there's the story I'll have linked over here from AP News. Basically said, I think the last bus driver said, sorry, no more buses. Or Newsweek, actually. No more buses, you're on your own. And then took off. And the Trump campaign was like, oh, the sheriff called them off. And the mayor called them off. The buses, that is. And basically, the city said, hey, we had nothing to do with logistics. Talk to the Trump campaign. They're the ones who are responsible for this. So basically, Trump didn't want to pay for buses. Or he didn't pay for the buses. And so the transportation company needed to make a decision. I don't know which it is. I guess we will find out eventually. But it probably involves Donald Trump not paying for the buses to pick those people up. Wonder how that'll impact their vote. That doesn't matter in California because Electoral College. But let's take a look at the energy around Trump's attitude towards his base at Coachella during that rally. Okay, entertainment purposes only. Let's see what we get. Page of Pentacles. He's there to raise money. There to raise money. Some people have said he was there to raise doubts. Like, he's trying to say that he's prepping people. He's prepping folks in California saying, no, the election was rigged and stolen. But it's also just to raise money. This is my grift card. Crossed by the Empress. He probably gets a lot of easy money out of Californians. He doesn't come out here that often. So he would expect a big, eager crowd to come out to see him. So, the Empress here needs her worshipers to come out and worship her, as it were. Underneath it all is the Nine of Wands. Time's running out. I've received about 6 Trump text messages today. I don't know if I've received any more, begging for money. It's sad. It's almost it's got a desperate feeling to it. Like he knows that his opportunity to fundraise is about to end, and it's a full-on sprint to get as much money as you can. Do you remember those game shows where like somebody would be like in a booth and they would turn on fans and they would drop in all sorts of dollar bills, and there might be dollars, fives, tens, and 20s in there, and you're supposed to grab the money as it's flying around? It's kind of like that for Trump. In the past, you got the Strength card. His best days are behind him. He's not going to be able to, get blood from a turnip or money from the lion for much longer. So, current situation here is, and he has a strong following with the people that are coming to see him. Current situation is Five of Swords. He doesn't care about them. Doesn't even care a lick about their health and well-being because he's the queen. They need to bow to him. He's their master. He's their better. They should be thrilled to go over there and cheer him on and give him money and stuff like that. Overarching energy is the Ten of Wands, the burdens. This keeps Trump's mind off of all the stuff he doesn't want to deal with. Whether it's health, legal, or whatnot. There's a bunch of stuff. He's in a bad position in his life, and this is his distraction. Money is his distraction here. Funny how these cards came up in my last reading too. The lesson to be learned is the Eight of Wands. He needs that money, and he needs it quick. And this is like his 15 minutes of fame is running out. Out comes the High Priestess. Soon enough, we're going to know. And you know what the problem is? We're going to know his secrets. We will know his secrets. We will know what he has done. The January 6th case is right around the corner. Judge Chutkin ruled for the appendix to be released. There's a 7-day stay where Donald Trump and his legal team can consider their legal options, basically try to appeal the release of this information. And for those of you who watch Glenn Kirshner and Brian Tyler Cohen like I do, you might have seen the video where Glenn Kirshner said, I forget the name of the actual Latin for the motion, but basically there's going to be a motion saying that the judge has so grievously come to a wrong decision about this that her decision should be vacated. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact terminology. I was driving at the time, so I could only concentrate on it so much. But long and short of it, it's well within her jurisdiction to release the grand jury testimonies and all the evidence in the appendices, that even if Trump and his legal team do appeal it, it's going to get rejected. So by the 22nd, you're going to have all the appendix data. Now, I seem to recall I did a reading for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump for the 4 remaining weeks in October. And I think we're on week 2 now, and that data should be released on week 3. And week 3, I believe, was going to be dreadful for Donald Trump. So maybe some other stuff comes out too, but not going to be good. Not much fun. Not much fun in Stalingrad for him. Is that right? Let's see. The 14th, 21, 28. Yeah, it was going to be the 28th through the 4th week was 28th through the like the 2nd. Okay. How did Trump's supporters... I mean, how did they take being dumped in the desert? I mean, does that even impact them? Again, doesn't matter in California. Their votes don't count. California is so overwhelming a blue state with active Democratic voters that, you know, the votes of these folks, they'll never get the president they want. It just isn't going to happen. I think, you know, Reagan or Bush might have been the last one that got voted in California, and it's gotten a lot more liberal since then. But how are they feeling about that? Because maybe, well, if they vote for Trump or don't vote for Trump won't matter for the Electoral College, but you also have House members that are running. You've got legislatures and local elections too. And if you don't go out to vote for Trump, you may not vote for these other folks down the ballot. So how is that going to impact the folks that got abandoned? The Magician. Some will still believe the illusion of Trump. Some just got a first-hand experience of who this guy is and what he values, and maybe what they should be valuing. Yeah, Trump the king, Trump the ruler, the mad emperor. I don't know if many people saw the behavior while he was giving his speeches, but you know, one of the things they talked about was he was asked if he would give California money for wildfires, and he said no, he's not going to give FEMA aid. If he's elected president, he's not going to help California. It's all Governor Newsom's fault, so you get mad at him. I think some people maybe got their eyes opened because, you know what? They're loyal Trump followers and they live in fire zones. So why wouldn't he protect them? For those not familiar with California's topography and demographics, the southern part of the state, the very southern part of the state is a little bit more conservative. Like when you get down to San Diego area, the interior, the northern part of the state is much more rural and also conservative. a lot of the Democratic voters are on the coast in the urban areas, which is where most of the population is. In the center of California, extremely rural, lots of farmland, ranchers, and stuff like that. So you can imagine that there's a lot of conservatives that live there. But then you start moving into the foothills, up into the Sierras, and a lot of conservative people live up there too. You know, live in the woods, it's small towns, everybody knows each other, and that's where all the wildfires happen. You can't get insurance because California's had a lot of wildfires, not because of climate change, but because we don't rake our forests. And if you're saying you're not giving these people fire insurance, well, you know, that's where your base is, in the valleys and in the foothills. In the past, the 501s, the Hillbilly Brawl card, Trump's base would fight tooth and nail for him all the way January 6th and on. Fight, 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 the rabble-rouser. Trump gets them all riled up. Not good to be riled up in high temperatures there. It leads to bad things happening. Current situation is the justice card. How are people going to look at this? Honestly, they're going to look at it and say it's not fair. What you did wasn't fair. It's like, you know, fair is fair, and they know what fair is. They're going to look, you know, expect there might be some lawsuits. Some of these folks might believe Donald Trump saying that this is the mayor's fault and the police department's fault, and they may look for a legal remedy to this by suing. But those court cases won't go anywhere because there'll be discovery, and you're going to find out it was Trump's team all along that was responsible for this. The overarching energy is the Page of Wands. He sent these people packing. He sent them walking in the desert. And this guy's literally walking in the desert. The reports were that it was about a 2-mile walk in the desert. They talk about the extreme heat, but at the same time, when the rally was over, it looked like it was dark from the footage I was seeing from people's phones. So you either walk through the desert in the heat to get to your car, or you walk through the desert in the dark to get to your car. Either one of those things sounds like a really wildly exciting way to go about it. And mind you, a lot of Trump supporters are not exactly spring chickens here. There's some older people there, and that walk could kill them. It absolutely could. Hot, dry, and they don't have enough water and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's the lesson to be learned. They didn't have adequate resources for a rally out in the desert. They didn't have water, they didn't have shade, they didn't have food or supplies for the folks that were out there. Trump cared about himself. He got taken care of, he got his money. But for the folks over there, they're going to see him as like a little prima donna that didn't think anything of them. Will it make a difference? Again, some folks may sue, and discovery will show that this was Trump's fault, even though he's blaming everybody else. Some people will, wisen up. They'll be angry that Trump abandoned them, and they're going to withhold their votes. Others have drunk so deep from the Kool-Aid that it's not going to matter that much. But it's just, this is how you get the change, is when he has personally screwed over his most loyal fanatics. And the ones that aren't full-on Kool-Aid consuming cult members, they'll walk away because they don't want to be treated like garbage. They want to be treated and valued. Basic human values, basic human rights type of thing. And it might be enough to, again, it's not going to impact the presidential election or even the Senate election, but it could impact House seats. It could impact the state legislature, local politics, school boards, that sort of thing. And you might have a candidate that's full on MAGA, and somebody who got screwed by this might just tell you where to go and how to get there. They'll be so angry that they probably just won't vote. And sometimes that's the best we can ask for in these situations. So we'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful. It is for entertainment purposes only. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.